What up, guys? So this is going to be another good video today. It's featuring right here at X5M Comp, sitting on a beautiful brush gold HREs. We went ahead and did a maintenance detail on this. This car does have PPF, so there's not too much that we're going to go ahead and do other than just maintain the finish that it does have now. And we're going to go ahead and show you guys what we have here in the store also, because we have a Ferrari that we're going to do a full paint correction on. We have a Z06 that we're going to go ahead and debadge and polish, and we have a few other little things. It is a little bit colder, so it's going to be a lot more rainy season. We're going to be offering more of the ceramic coating packages to go ahead and protect the actual paint finish. And remember, PPF is going to be the ultimate solution for all that rock chips, harsh weathers. So we're going to go ahead and be incorporating Matthew into the videos a little bit more to go ahead and show you guys our installation and the tint that we do offer here in-house. So let's dive into the rest of the video. This is the 458 that we were mentioning earlier. So this one, we went ahead and dialed up the interior, which is all beautiful red. And the exterior, we're gonna go and do a full paint correction on it. This car it is white, but it doesn't look like it on this particular video. So we're gonna have Aaron dive deep into doing a quick little B-roll to go and show you guys the imperfections on this white color car. Then we got on this side, which we're going to show you. We have the good old F250. Matthew and Mr. Jerome are going to be going ahead and doing a full stealth onto the truck, so that we can go ahead and protect it when we go off-roading and don't have to worry about nothing on the actual truck. So that's on that. We already had started on that one. And then we have Mr. Matthew Jerome, again, Hyper House, going ahead and taking care of a beautiful Carrera GT. This one, being very particular on the angles, is a little bit more on the particular side of how difficult it is, especially this area being one of them. There's a lot of curvatures, so if you guys do have exotic cars, you would understand how hard it is to actually detail it, and aside from that, doing the actual film on this stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and show you guys some of that stuff a little bit later. But if you guys, again, need any PPF work, don't forget to go ahead and hit us up. We can go ahead and take care of you guys. So we have Diego already tackling the engine. The biggest thing you wanna go ahead and focus on, especially on these newer cars, is just don't hit the actual alternator with a lot of water. So a lot of guys ask me, hey, how do you go ahead and detail an engine? And it's really simple, as long as you cover the alternator, the intake, and the carburetor, like if it's an older car, and then just any electrical work. So you wanna go ahead and put those on your standby as far as being careful with those. On the newer cars, they have a lot of plastics and they have a lot of weatherproof strippings, so that way you don't have to worry about it too much as you were to do a older car. Make sure that it's cool to the touch, or at least settle down for a few minutes, so that way you don't have to create too much steam and a lot of the water getting onto the headers, so that way it creates all that steam and it might corrode some things. While using degreasers, you want to go ahead and be mindful of how strong the dilution is. I personally like to go ahead and stay safe with a 10-to-1. A lot of people go down to the 1-to-4 if it's super dirty, but I think a 10-to-1 with a good scrubbing action will go ahead and take care of the problems inside of the engine bay. If it does need more of a cleaning, go ahead and do it, repeat it 2 times, and I personally guarantee that right there will go ahead and dial it in. A lot of the mudding off-road trucks tend to go ahead and take 2 to 3, so be mindful of that. So again, right here, Mr. Diego is using Clean Tech Breaker and Knockout, and we have wet coat in this bottle right here. Going to go ahead and add some protection afterwards onto the wheels. So be mindful to go ahead and always rinse your area, which we already did, to create less dust from arising onto the paint back when you're going ahead and washing. In about a few seconds, I'm gonna have Aaron turn around, and there's gonna be another paid actor. Check it out. Yeah. So those are about every few minutes they come by. They say what's up to us on the channel. So we are by LAX. So if you guys are ever interested, when you guys are flying down to California, to LA specifically, we're right here, right by, or in the back of LAX. So that's where our shop is. So we're gonna go ahead and detail it, wash it, clay bar it, possibly give it an iron decon, and then go ahead and bring it into the shop, do a full paint correction, 2-step paint correction, and then dial it in with a good little wax to go ahead and lock that in and get it ready to go ahead and be sold. I'm gonna go ahead and have Mr. Diego go ahead and handle this one while I go out and do another unit. So we're gonna go ahead and show you guys the rest of the video with a little bit of Diego's work and go from there. Good thing that I want to go ahead and mention before getting into the paint correction, you do want to go ahead and give it a clay bar treatment to go ahead and remove the bonnet contaminants. Now on this car, being that it's white, a lot of white cars have iron deposits that are on there that won't be removed by a simple clay bar. You have to go ahead and use a iron decontamination phase. This one, being that it's been a few areas repainted, it didn't really need much. So we went ahead and just did it with the clay bar, and that's how we got it, the surface looking ready to go. We have Mr. Diego doing a 1-step paint correction. That being said, it's gonna go ahead and just do it in 1 step rather than 2 or 3. Most of the time, if it's super bad, let's say on a specific black car, you wanna go ahead and do a 3-step paint correction. 1, going ahead and using it with rotary. 2nd step being with the dual action. And then 3, another dual action, but with the polish. So that is where we're gonna go ahead and do on a black car. This one being a 1-step, we got one product. We're doing some testing, so this is not our go-to, but this is a compound. This is a 1-step that we're gonna go ahead and do on this particular vehicle. There is 1-step products, and those 1-step products could be something like this sort. This 1-step is just a mid-step, which it has a lower abrasive rather than compound. And then you have a 1-step polish that has a sealant in it, this one being a ceramic base. Then you come over here, we have an all-in-one, but with an actual wax. So this is honestly one of our go-tos that's been true and dear to us, that works really, really good, especially on any light little trim work that we need. This is a solid step. So when you're going ahead and doing that, you want to go ahead, again, have a clean surface, in which we have Diego over there doing it with the actual machine. He's using an air compressor, which we have over here. I'm going to show you guys. There's our cobalt, quick and easy, but we have this tip to go ahead and blow out the pad every single pass that we do to go ahead and ensure that the actual compound and the actual surface that we're working on is always going to be clean. One little tip and trick I would recommend you guys to go ahead and add to your air compressors is this little filter right here that captures all the excessive moisture, and it captures it before it comes out on the actual line. You want to go ahead and depressurize every single time you use your air compressor for the few little benefits of 1, less water, 2, you actually have better maintenance on your equipment, and 3, there's no rust sitting. So there's always gonna be condensation and water into the actual air compressor. So when you go ahead and remove that, it's gonna go ahead and last you longer. And one thing I do wanna mention when you're doing paint corrections is the air compressor phase that we have here. So this being to go ahead and remove all the bonnet compounds, any debris that was onto the paint. You wanna go ahead and every single pass after you go ahead and work on the vehicle, you blow it out. One thing is we have a mid-size air compressor with a must-have. This is a filter to capture all the moisture, excessive moisture, to go ahead and produce just air coming out of this line rather than a lot of water, because there is condensation that builds on the bottom of this. So the biggest key thing is to maintenance your actual machines by depressurizing it every day, cleaning out the system, so that way no rust goes in there. Right here we have our dirty pad. We're gonna go ahead and blow it out. Now that we've blowed it out, we have a clean pad to go ahead and accept more product and give it a proper cut that we need to go ahead and do another panel. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand this over to Mr. Diego so he can go ahead and finish that up. And then we'll go ahead and walk over here and show you guys the pads. So this is our pad section. We do have a few other little pads in our storage. This right here is something where we use on a common day-to-day base. The biggest thing here is to have a clear concept of cutting, mid steps, all in one step, and polishing / waxing. So right here we have our more aggressive pads. This being our rotaries. This is what's gonna go ahead and cut the most. This is gonna go ahead and be on cars that are really neglected and you need to get the most cut out of it, whether you're sanding or just wanna go ahead and cut through. So we have those. We have our microfibers. These are all from Buff and Shine, so shout out to them for going ahead and always stocking us up with the best pads on the market. Then we have any of our all-in-ones. We have our black microfibers that I love, especially these that are edge guard. If you guys haven't tried these, I would recommend to go ahead and give them a shot. They are really, really, really sweet, and they have this beveled edge that goes and secures your actual machine from going ahead and hitting anything onto the actual surface because it has this protection on there. So give them a shot. Then aside from that, we have towels. So we have a section for towels. So this is all steps into having a beautiful end finish. You got to have the good compounds, good towels, and good pads. Now, a lot of people, you know, invest a lot of money in other things, and I personally think when you have a good towel, good product, the machine doesn't really matter too much as long as you have a decent one. You can go ahead and get a Atom ones. You can get even a Porter cable one. The biggest thing is the compound and pad that you're working with that's going to go ahead and give you the best results. Towels. These are pretty much interiors, throwaway towels. We have newer ones from Auto Fiber and the Rag Company. We have drying towels, of course, but the biggest thing is you want to have high quality microfiber towels. Personally, a lot of people like higher pile GSM towels. Me personally, Diego and a few of our guys here, we like lower pile edgeless. This right here is super easy to go ahead and buff on and pretty much remove all the compound that we need, and it's not instilling any scratches. So that's the biggest thing where a lot of towels, I'm going to show you, it's like a regular Costco towel right here. This one's going to go ahead and have all that lining that can potentially scratch your actual finish. So we go ahead and remove all that by just having an edgeless towel like this one. So give these a try if you haven't. Definitely would recommend them when you're doing paint corrections and any sealant maintenance work afterwards. So once that's all done, you have a couple options. I'm going to show you guys. We have this beautiful little crate right here. We have our ceramic coating side. So this ceramic coating, we have our pads, the applicator pads that we use. These are, I believe, the applicator savers from Auto Fiber. Then we have them in a little smaller ones if you need to. Then we have various ceramic coatings from Shine Supply. We have Car Pro. We even have System X. And I believe we have Sonax. The biggest thing here is to go ahead and lay down some protection after you do a paint correction or an all-in-one step. So you can go ahead and do a wax, a sealant, spray sealants, or upgrade to a professional ceramic coating. What I would recommend is definitely educate your clients and telling them the benefits of every single one, so that way they can go ahead and say, hey, this is the best fit for me. A lot of people don't need ceramic coatings if they're gonna just go ahead and store them all day. One thing I would just recommend is just a good old wax. Now, if the client is sitting outside and it's getting baked on all the time, biggest thing is you want to go ahead and put the most UV protections on there, which ceramic coating provide. One thing that I would recommend is to go ahead and do that from the paint correction and then tell them those few options so that way they can go ahead and have the best experience that you can possibly have. Aside from that, that's pretty much going to go ahead and once you're done doing the actual protection on that, you want to go ahead and maintenance it. So maintaining is going to be another topic that we can go ahead and dive into, which is going to be on the next video that we possibly are going to be releasing. So if you guys are interested, don't forget to go ahead and leave down in the comments what you guys love to see so that we can go ahead and produce that type of content for you. So again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on this, and see you guys on the next one. Peace.